I've made a lot of different Pokemon over time, and I have made different videos like dedicated to different categories of Pokemon I've made. And in this video, there isn't really any category, it's just some random Pokemon I've made. So yeah, in this video, just some random Pokemon I've made that I haven't really found a category for in videos. So yeah. Okay, so this is the map of the Pokemon world I made, and I'm just showing this to talk about what regions some of these Pokemon are from. And this map is a mix of regions that exist and regions that I made. So the first Pokemon that I'm gonna talk about, like the first few Pokemon, are gonna be from that region in the bottom right corner, which is called Zelo, and it's based off of New Zealand. So I'm gonna talk about a handful of the Pokemon there. So this is a ground type called Morleo, and it's based off of a star-nosed mole. And it's a pretty basic ground type Pokemon. It makes sense. And it's blind, it has no eyes because it's always digging underground and stuff. So yeah, and this is its evolution, Soot Trowel, which still has no eyes, and I think it is a pretty cool evolution to Molio. I think it does look a lot more fearsome and a lot like cooler. In the future, I might give it an evolution that has eyes and also has the steel type, kind of like Excadrill. Alright, I know it seems like I made this Pokemon just because of Molio and Soot Trowel, so that could be their prey. However, I'm like not, I made this Pokemon because of another Pokemon that I'll talk about later in this video. Anyway, this is Grubworm. It's a poison ground type. I didn't want to give it the bug type because worms aren't really bugs. And it's a poison type because it like has slime and stuff that's poisonous, and it's a ground type because it digs in the ground and stuff. Here's its evolution, Magameter, and this is just a big meter long worm with arms now, and basically that's kind of all it really is. I think the design is like works pretty well. I think it looks somewhat intimidating. Magameter is a lot more aggressive than Grubworm. Its poison is a lot more potent, and it's a lot slimier. Its slime is very sticky, and it can use its arms covered with the slime to pick up items and grab opponents. So this is the Pokemon that caused me to make Grubworm. It's called Violet, and it's based off of those snakes that have the tips of their tails look like grubs or spiders to attract prey. And I know that this concept has been done before for Pokemon designs and of like other people who make Pokemon. And yeah, this is my version of it. And originally this Pokemon was pure ground type because I make a lot of dual type Pokemon, but since it is based off of a Viper, I figured that it's only fair to have it be also poison type, and it's also loosely based off of a rattlesnake, and it can use the Grubworm on its tail to make a rattling sound. So it's only fair to make it poison ground type, which is a type combo that I've always wanted for a snake Pokemon. The next Pokemon are from a region that's based off of Italy, and I mean I couldn't think of a better name for the region, so I just like called it Italy. And it's on the map, like in that European area where all the Europe-based regions are. And yeah, so here's the first Pokemon. This is Spygoose. As this text says, its fur is made of sharp spines that inject enemies with the venom it consumes, and also the venom that it intakes, like when like a poison type Pokemon attacks it. So although it's already resistant to poison because it's ground type, it can also expel poison from its body using the quills. and they're kind of like tiny porcupine quills that are also like its fur. And like, I don't think there's any animals that actually do this. This idea that I made is kind of like, sounds like um and like an ability that's like kind of too good for an animal to be true, like too wild. But there are animals that have like sharp furs with barbs that kind of act like spines even though they're fur. So that's kind of where I got that idea from. This is Salzandra. It's poison dog type. There's a few existing poison dog type Pokemon, however I'm not a big fan of any of them. They're all fine Pokemon, there's just no poison dog types that I totally love. I like the poison type, and the dog type is my favorite type. So I made this Pokemon. Its design and name are inspired by Salazzle, although Salzandra is a lot skinnier than Salazzle, and it's always bipedal. Its design also takes inspiration from my other favorite poison type, Seviper. Its black scales mixed with purple and red scales are similar to Seviper's colors. I drew this in a notebook, so because this illustration is small, it's difficult to see details. Also, it has a poison spike on the tip of its tail, a red stinger kinda like Seviper's tail blade. Swiggle is a pretty basic poison type snake Pokemon. It's loosely based off of a black mamba, and although I know that I don't have the height and weight labels here, it's supposed to be kind of a small Pokemon. Swiggle can evolve into 3 different Pokemon. The following are its evolutions. Cobrasket is the first evolution of Swiglet that I made. I made Cobrasket a long time ago. I actually created this Pokemon before I created Swiglet. Cobrasket is a poison psychic type. It's based off the cobras that are placed into baskets before people play music for them, which causes them to dance. This makes the snake appear to be hypnotized. I know this doesn't actually hypnotize the snake. It only spooks it and causes it to rise. However, they're often starved or dehydrated, which makes them hesitate to attack. Anyway, Cobrasket is based off the idea that the snakes become hypnotized. Only Cobrasket isn't actually hypnotized, but is a Pokemon with the ability to hypnotize others. I know it's hard to see the details, but Cobrasket's eyes are spinning spirals, similar to Spinda's eyes. Cobrasket can use these spiral eyes for hypnotism. Its other main ability is its use of psychic power to levitate its basket. It can hide in the basket when threatened. When it pops out of the basket's top rests on its head like a hat. Drenched Butter is the other evolution for Swiglet I made. I had trouble giving it a name, and I should probably rename it. Drenched Butter is a poison dog type because of its preference to attack when its enemies are in a weakened state. It dislikes battling up close, so it spits poison to slow down, blind, and deal damage to its opponents. Kingbrana is based off of King Cobra. I know Arbok is also based off of King Cobra, and Arbok is a lot bigger than Kingbrana. Still, I made this King Cobra Pokemon. I've associated snakes, and especially cobras, with the dragon type. Kingdra has the dragon type, which made me think of putting the word king in this Pokemon's name, which is where the King Cobra inspiration comes from. While Cobrasket and Drenched Butter are based off of smaller snakes and therefore have a smaller size, Kingbrana is a very big snake. Not Arbok size, but still pretty large. Alright, that's the Pokemon for this video. Thanks for watching.